Hi guys, today we're going to be talking about colds and how to get rid of a cold quickly in a day or 2 or 3 without any complications and without using any medication. I was away for a few days not uploading videos because I actually caught a cold for the first time in 14 months and I was very upset about it. But then I realized it's just my message from my body basically telling me to slow down and take a bit more rest, sleep more. So that's my main message from it, to sleep more, because of the Miracle Morning Challenge I really haven't been sleeping enough. So I got the message, I'm going to take better care of myself. Let's jump into the video. So the first thing I want to mention is my true hero for so many reasons, and it's wild oregano oil from Greece. And Greece makes the best oregano oil in the world, and this particular brand is literally the best. It's also one of the cheapest and it's extremely powerful. So the power of oregano oil is measured by the amount of calcium, and this one, it has a minimum of 86% of calcium, which is huge. It's super powerful. So this one is 100% oregano oil. There are some that are 70% or 50%, so basically diluted with another oil, usually olive oil. And as this one is 100%, I use 4 drops of it in a teaspoon of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, and then I just swallow it like that, and then I drink 1 glass of cold water on top to wash off all of that burning sensation. And I do that every morning and every evening, and that really works better than anything else. And if I catch myself just before I catch the cold, like if I feel that something is trying to catch me, then I will do that, and usually I don't catch anything. But if the cold has already started, then this definitely prevents it from becoming very strong, and it also makes it last not very long. So I love it. Another thing I really love doing with it is adding a drop to a cup of tea and just drinking maybe a couple of times a day, and very slowly. So that kind of bathes my throat in oregano oil solution for quite a long time, and it really helps to kill any kind of virus or bacteria that might be hiding in my throat. So that also helps to relieve congestion in my nose, and also helps the cough. So it's just brilliant for so many different things. The next thing I always do when I catch a cold, and I do it to my husband too, is inhalations or steaming with oregano oil and tea tree oil. So I just take a small pot of water, put it to boil, and then I add 2 drops of tea tree oil and 2 drops of oregano oil, and I just put a towel over my head and just steam my face and get all that steam with essential oils into my nose, into my lungs, into my throat and everything, and it just works better than anything. And afterwards I just blow my nose, a lot of that gunk comes out, and then I sleep really well. So I generally do that before bed because it helps me sleep well, and generally my nose is not congested at all during the night. But I also like doing that during the day as well if I feel that I'm really congested. You can also use lots of other oils, like I think thyme oil, rosemary oil, lavender oil is another good oil, eucalyptus oil, but I personally really love these 2, tea tree and oregano oil. They're my favorite. The next thing that is helpful is vitamin C, and I personally prefer using food-based vitamin C products. So I use camel powder, and camel is a berry, I guess you could say, that is very high in vitamin C. So I just mix that with a bit of water or some kind of juice, like an orange juice, and that gives a lot of natural vitamin C, and you need much less natural vitamin C compared to synthetic vitamin C. So that is great. But I read a lot about people having amazing results with synthetic vitamin C as well in huge doses. People take loads of them until so-called bowel tolerance. I personally don't do it because I don't believe in synthetic vitamin C, but it's something worth keeping in mind and maybe trying out. Just Google vitamin C, cold remedy, and I'm sure you will find lots of information about it. The next thing that helps so much, both when somebody close to you is feeling sick and you don't want to catch it, or when you feel that you're about to catch a cold, or if you already have a cold and you want to shorten it, is zinc. Zinc is amazing. As you know, I used to take zinc all the time. I don't anymore because I don't think it's necessary anymore, but it's really necessary when you have a cold. So for a short time, it's brilliant. It seriously cuts down on the time your downtime when you're having a cold. And let's say when my husband has a cold, if I take zinc, I won't catch it at all. And now that I was sick, I was giving zinc to my husband and he didn't catch it from me, which was brilliant because both of us sick wouldn't be fun. So I personally take either zinc glycinate or OptiZinc. Anything will do really. It's just for 2 or 3 days to help my immune system fight the virus. Oh, and I forgot to say how much I take. I generally take around 30 to 50 milligrams a day when I have a cold or when I want to prevent one. The next tip I have for you is make sure you are drinking warm water or tea, something warm, some kind of warm liquid all the time, like every 5 minutes, in very small sips throughout the day, because all that warm water going down is making sure that the virus or the bacteria doesn't have a chance to stick to the walls in your throat, and is seriously one of the best remedies. It works so well, especially if you have a sore throat. Just try to do it. All the dry environment when you don't drink is like the perfect environment for the virus to proliferate, but if you keep washing it down, it won't be able to stick properly. So definitely try it out. The next thing I do every single time is using something called Propolis, and it's like a byproduct of honey. It's something made by bees, and I personally really love this honey with Propolis. I know there are also sprays with Propolis that you can just spray directly into your throat, but I love combining it with honey because that's how naturally it comes in the nature, and I love the taste of it. It kind of tastes a bit medicinal. It takes a while to get used to it, but I guess it's an acquired taste, and I acquired a huge liking for it. So I just put a bit of this in tea, and I have it probably maybe 3 times a day, and it helps me so much. It kind of numbs down the sore throat, and the pain disappears for an hour or 2, which is so brilliant. And Propolis, as well as honey itself, is very antiviral and antibacterial, so it's perfect for a cold, sore throat. It kind of relieves congested nose too. It's good for the cough. It's just brilliant for any kind of cold or flu. The next tip is dropping a slice of lemon into any kind of warm drink you're having, whether it's tea or water or whatever it is, because lemon is really high in vitamin C. And it's going to really help that sore throat that you're having, or a runny nose or anything like that. It tastes yummy first of all, but it also really helps you feel better much faster. But if you're having a laryngitis, I think it's called, you know, like a very scratchy, dry cough right here, then using lemon is probably not the best idea because it might exacerbate this cold even more, so be careful with that. But if you have a sore throat or just congested nose or a wet cough, then lemon is probably a very good idea. Next, I always avoid sugar, any kind of processed foods, any kind of heavy foods during a cold or a flu, just because your body, your digestive system is already compromised and very tired and weak, and feeding it all kinds of difficult to digest or foods that feed bacteria and viruses is really the worst idea. So I stick to really light foods like fruit or porridge or very well cooked soft rice, things like that, or soups are brilliant, chicken broth, things like that are really easy to digest but very nutritious and energizing. So basically you want something that gives you lots of energy but without spending too much energy digesting it. I'm talking about chicken broth. Chicken broth is my next remedy. And chicken broth is so-called nature's penicillin or nature's antibiotic because it's extremely healing because of all the nutrients that it has, but also because it's so soothing to your intestinal tract. It's also soothing in the same way to your throat. So if you have a sore throat, it's going to feel so good on your throat when you're swallowing that warm chicken soup. So when I was sick this time, my husband made for me this beautiful pumpkin soup with bits of chicken in it and chicken broth that I made just before I got sick, and it was amazing, awesome. So chicken broth is great when you're sick. And continuing on the food topic, remember this saying which goes, feed a cold but starve a fever. And that is so true. Whenever I have some kind of fever or a full-on flu, I definitely make sure that I just water fast or eat very little, because digesting actually uses up a lot of your body's energy. So if you don't have anything to digest, all that energy is going towards healing and fighting the virus. So if you just have a simple cold with a bit of sniffy nose or a bit of a sore throat, definitely eat nourishing foods to keep yourself strong. But if you have a fever, your body is screaming for rest and not having to digest anything. So I always keep that old saying in mind whenever I'm sick. And my last tip is probably one of my favorites and one of the most important ones that I really wanted to talk about, and it's avoid any kind of medications when you're sick. Of course, if your sickness, if your cold or flu turns into some kind of serious complications where you really need antibiotics, that's fine. I'm not talking about antibiotics in emergency situations. I'm just talking about all kinds of cold relief medications like paracetamol and Lemsip and all those similar things. They might help you on that day or two, but the thing is, what they do is they just make your cold or flu last so much longer, because all of those symptoms that you experience during cold or flu, like running nose, like painful throat, like fever, they are all just signs of your body's immune system being at work. So if you suppress them by using those medications, you basically suppress the function of your immune system, so it won't be able to fight the intruders as well. So it's just going to prolong the whole process, and also you will be much more likely to get complications afterwards, like a cough that lasts for weeks or tonsillitis and things like that. So it's just not worth it, you know. Yes, it's going to be much more difficult for a day or two while you have to suffer through the fever and things like that, but it's going to be so much better for your body. And also, when you don't interfere with the immune system grows stronger, and so you'll notice that you will be catching less and less and less colds as the time goes. So I hope that you enjoyed my 11 tips for getting rid of a cold quickly. And if you are going through a cold right now, I hope that you will recover really quickly. I'm sending you healing vibes, and in the future I'll also make a video about how to improve your immune system and prevent a cold in the first place. But if you already caught it, like me, then I hope that these tips will help you. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. I'm super happy to be back to making videos because I missed so much. I hope that you guys miss me too, because I missed you. So thanks for watching. Bye.